Okay, you can go whenever you want.
Music, vibrant and bold, provokes movement in some form or another. We call all of these different styles dance. From a young age, we've learned to move that booty to the rhythm of a song. Without even realizing it, dance had become an important part of our everyday society. Whether subtly grooving to the radio, jamming out at a party, or rocking it alone at home, dance is part of our lives. More importantly, dance has evolved as humans have over the ages. Dance is to move rhythmically to the beat of a song, and it is normally to follow a set sequence of steps. Because dancing, we have certain styles, we have certain dances, we have names for them. And when we have names for them, that normally means that they have a certain kind of dance style, dance, move. Categories of dance styles include traditional dance, freestyle, hip hop, house, punk, historical, as well as performance dance that we do on stage. We enjoy dancing at weddings, school reunions, family reunions, birthdays, anniversaries, celebrations, as well as clubs. Dance fads are dances which are characterized by a short burst of popularity because for a short amount of time they seem pretty awesome. But novelty dances normally last longer because of how funny they are. We tend to laugh at them and so we do them over and over again because they bring a smile to our face. Dances are popularized by the media, including American Bandstand, Soul Train, Dancing with the Stars, and America's Best Dance Crew. Music has evolved over the decades, so has dance. Dance has been able to change as well as music because when music changes its style, such as going from techno to regular rock and roll, we had to change from fast tempo to rock jamming out. So back in the day, we started out dancing a long time ago, but most importantly, it started around the Renaissance when we did ball dances. We had Bassa dance, we had Pavane, Almain, and Galliard, and those dances are typically slow dances. We also have Caranto, Canario, and Brunels, which are more fast dances, but mostly associated by couple dance. We had dancing like this, which were mostly associated with ballroom dances, and then we moved on to dances like these, where we had solo dances, and then we also had uniform dances where we did it in sync with other people. So by the 1920s, media helped to create more and more dance fads, and as they changed, we had many different dances, so many that this was born. Just basically showing our dances throughout the centuries, or years, basically. And now, Felicia.
We have a video for you. Okay, so we're going to take you on a trip through the decades. We're going to begin in the 1920s. In 1918, World War I ended. During this time was the ragtime era of dancing and music. At 1920, they considered this the roaring 20s. It was a prosperous era, and people danced to have fun. A lot of these kind of reminds me of flappers. The guys were actually called chiefs during this era, and they were raccoon cats or something. It got popular because of silent movie actors and actresses. One famous one is Rudolph Valentino. I actually named my son middle name Valentino because I love him so much. He's absolutely gorgeous, however he's old. These are dances that your grandma and grandfather probably did, and this right here is the Charleston. The next one is called the foxtrot. The foxtrot, like the Charleston, is dance and with a man and a woman, and this actually helped to evolved into the Charleston. So this actually came before that. And the foxtrot was actually started in 1910, and it was part of the ragtime era. It reached its highest popularity in 1930, though. As you can see, they're very close to their steps, and she's lucky he didn't step on her feet. The next dance, which will be coming up in just a second, is going to be the Quickstep. And the Quickstep is actually considered the most lighthearted ballroom dancing, and you'll see they're very happy when they're dancing. The woman is almost like an accessory to the man, and he usually is the one who shows her where to go. He's the lead of the dancing. A movie that's coming out is The Great Gatsby with Leonardo DiCaprio, who is absolutely gorgeous. And it's going to be a remake, and it actually will show you what the 1920s was all about. So I'll let you watch this clip for just a second, and we're actually going to be going into our next decade. At the end of the 1920s, in 1929, there was a stock market crash, and that led us into the Great Depression. People were pretty unhappy with the economy at the time, so they used dance to be happy. They also used it to forget about what was going on in the world. As you can see, the first one is the Big Apple Dance. It is a series of jazz steps that are performed in a circle. These ones are actually, it's not an old video, so it's newer. And there's usually a leader in the group who actually will call out the dance moves as you're doing it. Look how happy they are. They're happy. The swing dance, this is considered swing dance. That's what this era was all about, was swing dancing. The next one that we're going to be having come up here is going to be called the Lindy Hop. The Lindy Hop is actually named after Charles Lindbergh. He was a pilot who actually flew from America to Europe back in the 1930s. And the reason they called it the Lindy Hop is because the partner will actually swing their partner in the air. It's a series of flips, a lot of steps. It kind of reminds me of the Charleston though. So you see as the evolution of dance, people begin to improvise new movements. Now, all of these dances were popularized because of the increase of media as well. A lot of newspaper reporters began writing about this, and it took a lot of the younger generation. The last one is the Balboa. The Balboa is smooth and tight footwork. In a second, you'll see their feet. It's a closed dance. It's danced with a partner, and it kind of is similar to the Lindy Hop as well, swinging your partner, but it's a lot more tight footwork. These styles continued, and there was actually one, the jitterbug, that we don't have a clip of, but it was named after an alcoholic's getting the jitters. So that is where the jitterbug's from. And if you watch Family Guy, they actually have a part where he does the jitterbug. And that began in 1927, and it was popularized by 1934. Now, as we continue our trip through these decades, we're going to be going into the 1950s. The 1950s, there was an increase of media. There was an increase of more homes in American culture, being able to watch TV, listen to radios, things like that. A lot more magazines, teen magazines being wrote. Popular artists were Presley, Little Richard, Bill Haley, Buddy Holly, and that's just to name a few. The clip that we actually have here is from Greece. Greece is about the 1950s high school, and a lot of it's singing and dancing with cabin singing. And this one, they're actually doing the hand jive. As you can see, the dancing is becoming a little bit more racy than what it originally was. A lot of the dancing is similar to some of the other dances that I was speaking about earlier, the Charleston, the Lindy Hop. We're seeing them all evolve into one. And if you're going to dance this, you probably want to wear underwear if you're wearing a dress. As you can see, she's showing everything off. It's also danced as with a partner as well. And these also became popular because of American Bandstand. The next one here is At the Hop. It's by Danny and the Juniors. And this kind of reminds me of like Richie Cunningham and Happy Days. Now, as I was saying about the American Bandstand, it actually began in Philadelphia. National syndication by 1957, and it was hosted by Dick Clark. Dick Clark actually would go around trying to find young teen dancers and the younger generation in the dance feds, and he was always looking for new trends. This helped to influence more people were people dancing the trends at the time and the fads. The next clip that we're going to be showing is the twist. The twist is actually, Chubby Checker actually remade this one right here, and it didn't become popular until the late 1950s. And as you can see, it's a very easy dance. All you do is you twist your hips. We got a Pulp Fiction clip here as well. And they all look like they're having fun. Now, as we continue to move on, we're going to be going into the 1960s. And the clip that we are going to be showing here is going to be one, and I'm sure all of you are going to know this when it comes up too. This is Dirty Dancing, Patrick Swayze. The song that they're dancing to is actually the mashed potato. The mashed potato was actually popularized by Dee Dee Sharp, and she did Mashed Potato Time. They had a couple different variations of the mashed potato songs that they danced to, but the most popular was the Dee Dee Sharp. And it kind of resembles the twist to me, which started in the 1950s. So as you can see, there's a partner, you dance with a partner, and a lot of it is some of the movements that you saw in the earlier formers. And the next clip we are going to be shown is the Monster Mash. Now, the Monster Mash you can actually probably hear at Halloween parties and things like that. You just get into a group, you wear some costumes, and you dance. I find it pretty funny. This guy has some pretty nice gray hair there, too. Now, in this decade of 1960s, many of these dances were actually considered, they had animal names. They had the monkey, the pony, and the dog. This one right here is the swim. This really reminds me of Gidget movies, if any of you have seen any of those. And the swim is very easy. You're not dancing with a partner, you're actually dancing in a group. So you get a group of people together, and it's a really easy movement where you just do the swim. Very easy. Now, as we continue to go through the decades, we reach the 1970s. 1970s were known as the disco phenomenon. A lot of our parents probably danced some of these dances. The clip that we have here is Saturday Night Fever. We got John Travolta, again, he loves to dance. And I believe they're doing the electric slide, but again, it's a group dance like in the 1960s. They did the swim. This one isn't danced with a partner, but it is in a group dance. This also reminds me of that 70s show also, considering it's the 70s. And that's where we come in with the hustle. The hustle is a dance that you dance with a partner. And if you ever watch the 70s show, there's a part where Fuzz is actually doing the hustle. And he has the white pants and all that stuff, so it's pretty funny. Now, the rise of Soul Train helped to influence some of these dance fads. And the last one, we got the bump dance. The bump dance is pretty easy. You just...
This is the 1980s, and as if John Travolta couldn't get enough dancing in. This is a clip from the movie Urban Cowboy with John Travolta. He really cannot get enough dancing. There's something wrong with that. But as you can see, it really is, you see aspects of country music involved here, and it's similar. I mean, you can see how previous dances, especially from the 60s and late 70s, influenced this dance, but it's a very slow dance with partners. It's called the square dance. And then coming up next is probably my personal favorite video of all time, and actually America's favorite video statistically, called something called Thriller. But this is a perfect example of a novelty dance. I mean, this dance truly doesn't really extend any further past this video. You can't dance the Thriller to anything but Thriller. And kind of have to have some zombies with you, but just a little back and forth, you know. You see some jazz steps almost, but actually this song in this video is the most sold single of all time. And I mean, you can see why. It's the king of pop. But like I said, this is a perfect example of a novelty dance because it truly does not extend any further past this song. Yeah, I still saw my mom doing it at a party. She's 58. And then this is this is Super Free. I mean, as you can see throughout the ages, something that Felicia was talking about is dances have slowly gotten more and more racy. The outfits, I mean, you can see how much skin they're showing compared to the 1920s, 1930s, where you know, they were wearing long gown and ballroom dancing. I mean, he has sparkles on his face. I mean, things are getting a little weird. But you know, this is more of following, you know, his beat, background dancers. But I mean, it's a classic. Up next is a song that, although it became popular in the 80s, is actually a relative history. The song Cotton Eye Joe, the lyrics have existed since before the Civil War, and I believe the dance has existed since then too. And it's okay. Don't leave me up here alone. As you can see, this is kind of a parody of the dance because it truly is considered a relic of the South. You know, it's something that survived since before the Civil War, and I guess you could say it's associated with hillbillies, you know, rednecks. But I mean, I think it's pretty classy. But you know, then again, my family was frog digging. But you see, this is just a simple two-step dance, and once again, it doesn't extend much past the song, so it is truly a living dinosaur of a novelty dance, and for it to stick around for so long really says something about it. And then here we come up on the 90s. This is Wakefield with Saturday Night, and as you can see, it's just a simple, a lot of clapping involved, a little mambo, a little jazz step, and you can see how, especially in this video, how outfits have come along with the actual dances. You know, they're starting to conform. You hear a lot of new. This is kind of like the birth of pop music. Artists such as Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, Jewel, several artists like that, and you get these fast-paced group dances that are going on. You know, good for almost a club dancing scenario. Although I don't think I would ever dance this in a club. I would get laughed out of there. And then probably my absolute favorite song of all time. Get some cha-cha slide in here. But cha-cha slide came about during the late 90s, or I mean, excuse me, early 90s, about 1994, and it is one of the most copied dances ever. There are hundreds of different variations. Actually, there's a lawsuit by the creator of the dance because so many people were ripping off his dance for their own dances. That just goes to show how in dance, you know, people just take something that pretty much exists and continues on along those lines. But this really reminds me of Galaxy's Gateway. You know, getting free passes, negotiating if you dance the best. I've been talking about this all week. The stanky leg. But the stanky leg came about in 2008. GS Boys, but it is I guess a dance of what people call gangster rap, and it really involves almost only leg work for the most part of the dance, and you really just it's fun. You just gotta get down there. I see this one right here seems to exhibit the most skill because his knees are almost touching the ground every time. We had a vote. And then the song that some consider a symbol of Harlem is chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. As you can see, in a lot of hip hop and rap, jazz stuff really comes back out jazz step has existed since early 20s, and it's just a fast group dance led by the lead singer right there. And I mean, who doesn't love chicken noodle soup? And then up next, we have the most popular video ever to be put on YouTube. I'm sure all of you have heard it. If you haven't, you live under a rock. Got some Gangnam Style by Psy. And this is something that is actually almost like a new addition to American dance culture, because this is by a Korean artist. The entire song is sung in Korean, but yet, from an American-based website, YouTube, it has the most views out of any video ever put up. So it's really, I find this almost hard to classify because I don't know their history, their dance, but it shows you that the rest of the world follows along the same metric that the American culture does. And I mean, also you got to give credit to these ladies because you see what they're dancing in. Like, I mean, you see me not even trying to attempt this dance. I mean, I can do this part, but that only lasts a couple seconds. But they're doing it in 7-inch heels.
All right, everybody. I'm going to request, if you want to do the Harlem Shake with us, that you come up on stage and get your hat on.
So come over here on this side with me until we're ready.
Participate, you guys. This is fun.
Only if Dr. J goes, we'll all go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Put your music on. Come on,
You
Jim.
guys stay over here with us, real quick. Come over on the side with us real quick because he's going to do the beginning, and then we're all going to walk up there.
You wearing sunglasses?
Is this?
We gotta have some music.
Yeah, you will.
Gotta have some music, yeah.
Wait, Dr. J needs to go.
Trying to figure out what dance I want to do.
Okay, do you want to wear
Take
it?
your time.
I don't want to be here. I don't want to poncho either.
Well, hey there,
Hey,
Mario.
Dr. Not wear anything.
All right.
I don't even know what to do yet.
All right, we're doing not crazy.
Oh, wait a minute. You can't say that in the camera.
Yes, begin.
All right, here we go.
Here, I'll wait a minute.
Okay,
There's going to be a pause, and we're all going to go up there.
ready, set, go.
You gotta have some music. Oh.
What? Get out there, Dr. J. What are you doing?
I'm jamming. Hold on, I gotta have some music. Oh, that's loud. Oh, no.
That's it. It's over.
Too late. I'm sorry. Too late.
All right, everybody, please return to your seats.
That was intentional.
That was sneaky. In our youth, we flailed our arms and shook our hips as a way of dancing, later learning different defined styles. From ragtime to Harlem Shake, they are all part of pop culture, influencing our lives since the beat of music entered our ears. Next time you hear a catchy song playing, join and dance. Maybe you'll create the next fad.
I used to know this entire dance. I don't anymore. That was
that concludes our speech. Thank you for listening to us today. We hope you enjoyed it.
Watch us make our fool of ourselves. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Okay.